And you can just, ooh, listen to that. Compared to that, listen to this. That is good stuff. We got the sound deadening mat, the dead mat, fat cat, fat mat sound control in the mail. And we're gonna get it installed in the van. I got 100 square feet, maximize it. Hey, hey. Oh, look who wanted to be. Are you happy now? Oh, okay, you can be in it too. Come here. To install this, just got a rag, wipe some acetone down, our scissors, and this should have a sticky backing, so it should be all we need to install it. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, it's 2 rolls. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Oh, comes with a little knife and a little roller. Look at that, comes with a little sticker as well. Alright, well, nothing less. Oh, it's sticky. Alright, let's go do it. What I've read online and saw on YouTube and read in forums and Sprinter forums and van dwellers on Reddit is that this stuff will really help reduce all the noise, all the road noise you hear when you're driving down the road. These are just big metal tin cans and everything rattles. You can see all these panels here, they all rattle and you can hear how loud they are. So when you're driving, I mean, when we picked this up in Philadelphia and drove home, it gave you a headache. It was just all this vast empty space going down the highway at 80 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. It makes a ton of noise, so this should really help with that. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to want to do if you decide to do this in your van, which I highly recommend based on what I've read, what I've been told, this was, you know, top of my list things to do. It is expensive, but I do believe it's going to be worth it. We're going to be living in a van. We're going to be driving everywhere, so I want the drive to be comfortable. All right, what we're going to do, I'm going to cut sheets, and according to the manufacturer, you only have to cover 30% of the area for it to have its effect. So I'm going to be putting panels here, here, here. As you can see, the factory comes with these ones already installed. So basically, I'm going to put one over it because that's not very large. You can kind of see where the factory has put some, but they didn't put any on the big large panels that make the most noise. So I'm going to put some there. I'm going to cover the wheel wells and we're going to see how it goes. So let's get started here. See if I can set you up. We'll do this panel first. Now, do we want to measure it? Do we want to eyeball it? Or do we want to cover the wheel well first? I think we're going to cover the wheel well first. Alright, well I think we'll be able to do one long piece here. It actually cuts really easy. So if you're wondering, that's my Great Dane Zoe. She's almost 7 years old, and yes, she will be joining us on our adventure in this van. People think we're crazy, and we probably are. But I like being crazy. I think it makes everything more fun. I'm not going to try and unpeel it all at once. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start on the floor. Just start about 2 inches on the floor here. See if I can give you a better angle here. Oh, there you go. Pull on this. Because since this is round, but I think this is actually working really well. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut slits so that it can contour to the shape of the wheel well. And you'll almost be overlapping some areas, but it allows you to get a nice curvature. Give this a shot. And that it looks. Give it a little sound test, see if this comes through on the camera. As opposed to, and I think you'll be able to hear that. Wow, that is a huge difference. And that's just a low dump, and this has an echoey, tinny compared to this is gonna be good stuff. I'm gonna do the other side, check back in with you guys in a little bit. I cut this piece too long on accident, so I just cut this little piece and I'm gonna put it back here on this back side so no material goes to waste here, which is a good thing. And now I know you guys are wondering, well, earlier I said the manufacturer says you only have to cover 30% of the surface area with this material to help dampen sound. Why are you covering it, this wheel well, completely? Well, to be honest with you guys, part of me is because every other van build I've seen that uses this stuff, everybody always covers the entire wheel well. So if everyone's doing it, it's got to be, you know, hopefully it's helpful. Otherwise, everyone's just doing it because they see someone else do it. But besides that, I also have noticed that after covering this entire wheel well, that it is, it is drastically quieter being completely covered as opposed to if I only put a couple pieces on it. So that's the reason I'm doing the whole thing. Yes, part of it is just because other people have done it, but I do believe that other people have done it because it does help. Because I mean, this is a 3500. We have 2 plus 2. We have 4 wheels right here making a ton of road noise. I think this is a super important area. Help, you know, combat all that noise that's coming from the road and the tires going down the highway. This should help an extreme amount with the noise. So I'm gonna get going on this one. We used less than half a roll, maybe about a third of one roll. Each roll is 50 square feet. We used about a third of a roll covering up these wheel wells completely. And you can just, ooh, listen to that. Compared to that, listen to this. That is good stuff. Just talking to myself at this point. Nobody to talk to. Put the dogs inside. It's hot out. Zoe won't stop barking. Scott was ready to go inside anyways. Hell, I'll just place you guys right here. And I'm going to work behind me. If you're wondering why I look up here, I'm using a camera that doesn't have a flip-out screen, so I gotta frame it up. You don't care. But if you're still watching, then I don't know, maybe I'll tell you a little story coming up. I'm just gonna eyeball this, cut it, stick it to the wall. No rocket science here. Although, I wonder how my little knife will work. I wonder if that's easier than the scissors. Scissors are pretty easy. Oh, that's easier. That is easier. You know what? I probably cut this one too big. Whatever. Oh, perfect. We'll say this. I do know that I'll be saving at least half of the other roll to do the front under the wheels, the front wheel wells, and where the firewall is, because there's a ton of engine noise. You can hear that diesel engine when you're driving, even inside. So I'm definitely going to be saving some of this up there in the cab area. But for now, this should be plenty. I mean, I still have this whole roll left. Should get me pretty far on these panels. We'll see. Pro tip: use the little knife that they supply you with. Cuts it faster. Been doing this for about 10 minutes. Already a professional. Giving out pro tips. If you don't know, I have an Instagram. We also have a Instagram for this van. It's called Go and Live Free. You can find it. Doing lots of little updates, stories, posts, and so on. If you care, you can go and give that a follow. before I do this other wall, haven't done the bottom yet, but sound check. You hear that? You hear that? One more time. I think we're getting somewhere with this stuff. I could see if you were on a really tight budget why you would want to maybe steer away from using this, and you would certainly have doubts when you were installing it, because it really feels like it's doing nothing. It feels like you're putting stickers on a laptop. And I'll also tell you this, I'll be able to tell you immediately when I drive this to Home Depot tomorrow, because I drove this yesterday and it was loud as hell. Super loud. I mean, you gotta drive with the windows down and it still gives you a headache because it's so loud. It's just echoey and whoa and wind noise. So we'll know by tomorrow if this was worth it. And if it wasn't, well, I guess there's not really anything I can do if it wasn't worth it. So super simple. Might sound crazy, but I feel like I can already tell a little bit of a difference in the sound, the acoustics in here. Probably nuts, probably losing it. Been talking to the dogs for 2 days while Heather's gone. And I guess we'll close it out here. Well, there goes Zoe barking again. Alright, sorry, this is dragging on. Alright, we're closing it out here. Tomorrow, I gotta drive this thing to Home Depot. I'm gonna let you know if it sounds better, and that will be the end of this video. And until then, we will see you tomorrow. Alright, it's the next morning. Here's a little update. What I've been doing is cutting a strip, cutting it up into these little, about 5 pieces. I'm just fitting them just about anywhere I can. So I'm folding them in half, putting them in between these little spaces in here, up in behind here and here, doing the middle pieces. Basically just putting these wherever I can find a space. So I'll try and fit one in there. You see them, putting them just about anywhere they'll go. And you can really tell that the acoustics in here is really starting to change. So another hot one. About to drive to Home Depot. We're going to get the stuff for the floor, and I'll give you an update and let you know how it sounds. All right, well, this is the first test drive in the van after adding the rattle trap, and I gotta say, holy moly, because it sounds so much better. Every little bump used to go over, this thing used to rattle and echo and just give you an instant headache. Everything is so much duller now, toned down, and you can probably hear me decently well. I mean, it's still a giant empty space right now, but we're on our way to Home Depot. We're gonna get the floor installed, and I can't wait for that, because that'll just add even more sound deadening. Once we put the insulation on the walls, this thing should be a dream to drive. So if you know me, and Heather will attest to this, I hate little noises in the car when I'm driving. If anything's rattling or bumping up against something or just making a nuisance while you're driving down the road, it drives me nuts. So anyways, Fat Cat, Rattle Trap X, the stuff we installed. 2 thumbs up, highly recommend it. Worth every penny, just from what I've seen driving down the road right now. So go ahead and install it. On our way to Home Depot right now. We'll catch you in the next one.